The creation of the WindX saw a sort of revival of the rare 65% with number pad layout, and the creation of the X65 and X98 further cemented the studio as one that was bold enough to continue to create boards with unique layouts and quality sound profiles. Today, the original WindX returns in the form of a round 2, but is it ultimately a keyboard and a layout worth getting? This video is brought to you by PCBWay. PCBWay is having their 2022 Christmas sale, where you can get up to 50% off 3D printing and CNC machining, and up to 92% off PCB prototyping. Get started with an FR4 PCB at just $5 for 10 pieces, and complete SMT PCB assembly at $3 per PCB. Whether you're looking to fulfill your next batch orders, or looking to build an electronics project for fun, PCBWay has you covered. Learn more at the link in the description. Let's get this board unboxed. First off, we have various small pieces, like an extra daughter board, screws, bottom feet, various case screws, Allen keys, a polycarbonate front accent, pour-on gaskets, and QK75 style gaskets. Next, let's take a look at the bottom weight and front accent. There's a holographic effect on the packaging here, which is a little hard to see. Next is the split PCB with flex cuts, polycarbonate plate, and foam kit, which includes plate foam, PE foam, case foam, and an anti-static case sheet. Finally, the actual case pieces. This includes the upper top case, lower top case, and in this separate box is the bottom case. While we're here, I'll install the bottom weight and also install the front accent. The WindX is a top-mounted or gasket-mounted board. For PCBs, the group buy will have Bluetooth hot swap, wired hot swap, and wired soldered. While hot swap has no layout options, soldered will have all the choices shown here. The in-stock sale will only have polycarbonate plates, but the group buy will have polycarbonate, POM, aluminum, brass, carbon fiber, FR4, and PVD stainless steel, all of which will support both PCB and plate-mounted stabilizers. As for colors, all three portions of the case, as well as the back weight and front accent, are customizable, making for a huge amount of possible combinations. Additionally, there will be a southpaw version of the board, with the same price and color options. Finally, the wired kit will cost $305, and the Bluetooth kit will cost $320. In the PCB are TX stabs with 205 grade 0 and BDZ. I'm going to add on the polycarbonate plate, and in here go Marshmallows looped with 205 grade 0. I want to see how a more muted sounding switch would sound combined with a more muted plate. I'm going to add on one of the two types of gaskets included. Just like the QK65, these slot into the plate. Notice how one side is pointed and the other is flat. I'm going to slide these in with the pointed side facing up, just to help minimize the bounce a little. And I'm going to start calling these insertion gaskets for lack of a better descriptive name. With the inner assembly done, I can connect the daughter board, connect the number pad PCB, and close up the case, sandwiching the bottom case in between the two top cases. On top goes GMK Striker. Let's take a listen. You should generally stay away from PC plates with WindX boards. The sound profile is plasticky and muted, and you need both strong sounding switches and covering the flex cuts to overcome this. If you want something with more flex, I would go with POM, as POM usually comes with a stronger sound. Of course, this is given that you are going for a sound that isn't muted, and if you are, then a PC plate would be perfect. Without covered flex cuts, the alphas are very quiet, and my build in particular has a pretty loud and poppy spacebar. Doing a build completely foamless is viable if you have loud switches that can overcome hollow sound, as the edges of the case have quite a bit of it, but there's really none in the middle, and I'm sure doing force break could get rid of it anyway. Still, I feel like WindLab could have taken the opportunity to improve the sound engineering of the case design. With these insertion gaskets, the board is fairly bouncy and not very flexy. Obviously, this might change depending on whether you orient the pointy side up or down, but personally, I'm not a huge fan of insane flex or bounce. I think these insertion gaskets with the pointy side up makes for a really nice middle ground, where a long pole switch like DD's feel really comfortable, not overly firm and snappy, but also not like sinking your fingers into a pillow. And this time around, we do have a few design changes from the original WindX, including the back engraving, slight bottom weight redesign, and an LED indicator for the top accent, provided you use the polycarbonate piece. Otherwise, the silhouette retains the same sleek, minimal, and professional look that WindLab's boards have maintained. I think that the newly added engraving looks pretty out of place though, and would rather see more proportional changes than decorative engravings, like increasing the size of the bottom weight. But at the end of the day, the unique layout of this board at first glance kind of speaks for itself. The subtlety of the case makes it a perfect fit for a distraction-free home office or work environment. I believe the number pad is underrated. It can easily be remapped to anything in VIA, and the availability of a Southpaw version means you don't have to lose out on mouse space. The price point and color customizability don't leave a whole lot to be desired, and ultimately, I believe that the WindX Round 2 is an effective and worthy addition to any productive space.